Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Laugh Daily Podcast.
Yeah!
Today, oh man, we're excited for today's podcast. Ain't that right? Yeah!
Yeah!
Activities!
Whoa! Gotta love the new sound effects. Am I right?
Yes.
So, what are we talking about today, boys?
We're talking about this little thing called boxing.
Ooh.
I'm not kidding.
Bunching. Not kicking, only bunching.
Punching
Only
with the gloves.
Foul drive to the face.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about when it comes to boxing and YouTube boxing specifically.
Man, this is going to be a good episode, though.
But first, we want to do a new top 5. All right?
All right.
Top 5 favorite beverages.
Oh, sweet.
They could be general or specific.
Okay.
If you have a specific flavor top 5,
yeah.
I would love to hear that.
Okay.
What do you got?
Number 1, just want to get out of the way, is Yoo-hoo.
Top 5.
Is that a surprise to anybody?
All right. So
There we go.
there's that. Then now let's go to number 5. Number 5,
I like this order.
I will go with, we're talking just soft drinks or just drinks in general?
Just drinks.
Any.
It's a liquid. It could be fish oil. I don't know what you like to drink.
drink.
You have 4 more to go.
I don't know, Pepsi. Let's put Pepsi on there. Pepsi's made the list.
Okay.
4 is Yoo-hoo. 3 is
The
Yoo-hoo.
same flavor? Because there
2
are
is
multiple
Yoo-hoo.
flavor Yoo-hoos.
And 1 is Yoo-hoo.
Okay, I like it.
It's a pretty good list. Pepsi and
I'm surprised.
Yoo-hoo.
I'm surprised Diet Coke's not on there.
I'm not actually a fan of Diet Coke as much as I.
But you get
I
Diet
drink
Coke all
it.
the time, I think.
Yeah, but
Oh,
I would prefer the actual Coke.
that's
Do Diet Coke, so
fine.
Kelly will still like me.
Okay,
Andrew?
my turn.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna start at the bottom, make my way up to number 1. So number 5.
Weird flex.
I'm gonna go with ginger ale. I
Oh.
enjoy ginger ale much. It's a good. I'm sorry,
Specific-
your list is over. You can't add.
I wasn't ready. I didn't know I was going to be first.
Specifically on the airplane?
Oh, definitely on airplane. I had one last night for dinner. Oh, it just like hit the spot so perfectly. Number 4 is root beer.
Oh.
Yeah, I like the root beer. Number 3, lemonade. There's so many variations you can go in that realm. We could do a top 5 lemonades.
Yep.
Really?
Number 2, we're gonna go with water.
Huh?
And then number 1, bays.
Whoa.
Really?
Or buys if you want to be professional, but that's not what they're called.
We were drinking bays before they blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good. Any specific flavor bay?
Man, I don't know. I like the carbonated ones are really good, like in the can.
Yeah.
Those
I
are top
agree.
tier.
Nice.
That's my top 5.
Nice list. All right, my list in no particular order.
Yoo-hoo.
Chocolate peanut butter smoothie.
Made.
Huh?
No, I'm sorry.
Orange salt water by Element. Man, I've never had salt water before until this brand, and it is so good.
Doesn't that just make you more thirsty?
Actually.
Um.
I like Spindrift sparkling water a lot.
Uh-huh.
Way better than LaCroix and all those other brands, man.
It's a fact.
Grapefruit kombucha. I love
Really?
kombucha in general, but grapefruit's probably up there with the tops.
Wow.
Yeah. And then
Come on.
coffee.
Oh.
I
Specifically-
forgot about coffee.
Oat milk.
No, can't go back.
Oat milk vanilla honey latte.
Ooh, man.
Okay.
Why did I forget iced coffee?
It's okay. You can do part 2 favorite drinks next time.
Okay, only if you guys hit like.
Activities!
All right, so you're probably wondering, YouTube boxing, what could we be talking about? Are we interested in boxing? What's going on with YouTube boxing? Andrew, fill everybody in on YouTube boxing. What's going on in the industry?
Okay, we'll start back a little bit. I think Logan Paul and his bro really kind of started this like YouTube boxing journey for people, doing some pay-per-view fights. I'm going to pull some stats here so you guys get a brief idea of what's going on. So they did a fight in 2019, Logan Paul and KSI, and they got 1.3 million viewers through pay-per-view, which made this the largest non-professional boxing match to date.
Wow.
And they each brought in $900,000 for themselves.
Ew.
So that's what we're talking about, YouTube boxing. Like, those are some numbers.
Wow.
I actually starting point.
I contributed to that. I never ever watched really fighting, but I literally paid for that just because I was so curious about it. It was so hyped up. I was like, I got to just see what's going on with this.
I think that's what makes it exciting for everybody. Is it's not just like pro boxers, but it's like just different people. It's like, whoa, this is like intriguing. I kind of want to watch.
Have there been any other boxing fights other than them? Like YouTube wise? I feel like
there might have been some lower tier ones.
I haven't really seen too many besides them.
But Logan is fighting, is it Floyd Mayweather?
Yeah. Oh, my soul.
Coming up soon.
And then I think Jake Paul's trying to fight some other professional as well.
Do you think it'll ever get past just boxing? I'm not saying there's a level going upwards like that, but like, do you think UFC would ever be a possibility?
For YouTube? Like a YouTube fight?
Wouldn't that be bananas? Logan gets in an armbar and breaks his... Golly.
I would say yes.
Because I mean,
why not? Right?
I feel like that's just as entertaining, and in some people's eyes more.
If you guys don't know the difference, boxing you're using gloves and you're kind of punching. UFC you're using legs, knees, elbows. It's a lot more
you're trying to hurt the guy.
Mixed martial arts,
versus
just straight boxing and boxing techniques.
Yeah.
Which would you be more inclined to do?
Oh, boxing for sure.
100%.
Is there any situation where you go, all right, we're going to train for UFC for this video, for the pay-per-view, and let's full send?
UFC, absolutely not. I am not
There's no scenario.
With legs. Are you kidding me?
No. Oh, yeah. That would be.
But against like another YouTuber that's like, I don't know what I'm doing either.
I like just the simple aspect of just fists, not like knees and elbows and whatnot.
Just think about, because like, I mean, I get where you're coming from with another YouTuber, maybe the same skill set we're at with zero skill sets.
Oh, but there's so much more potential.
I know, but but at the same time, there's so much more like training I feel like you have to do to be good at UFC versus, I'm not saying like boxing's like easy in any way, but it's like you get to kind of more focus in just sort of like.
There's more safety involved, I feel like, with boxing, at least from the look of it. Than there is UFC, where it's just like, go at him.
Yeah, that's another thing. Because like even in boxing, like if you're doing like an amateur like boxing fight, I don't know if it's required or just like recommended, but you like usually wear the headgear too. It's not until you're like in the professional like realm where it's like that headgear even comes off.
Have you ever used like the big boxing gloves?
Like normal?
The huge blow up ones?
Yeah.
Or?
No. Not sock 'em boppers. Oh. But the big, like what professionals use. I mean, they're huge. They're like, it's not just like, oh, I can punch somebody, but like, I remember when I've just tried to punch with those, it's like, it's totally different.
Feels awkward.
Yeah. It's like, it's not just as easy as just like, oh, I'm going to wind up and it's going to be the same hit.
Yeah.
It's like cushioned almost.
Yeah.
So there's a basis for YouTube boxing in that world. Yeah. Is there any new updates, right?
Yeah. The Ireland boys, you guys have seen the videos. We've done quite a few collabs with the fellas, our friends, Ireland boys. And recently, well, they've actually done this in the past. They've called out specific YouTubers for a boxing fight.
Really?
Obviously, Logan Paul kind of
inspired
do that
in the past, yeah.
Because Logan Paul's a YouTuber, and then he created all this hype, and then other YouTubers are like, whoa, I want to try and box somebody. But anyways, recently the Island Boys did a video and they got into a fight. And at the end of the video, they were like, hey, if there's any YouTubers out there who want to box us, they said us. So I'm thinking both Nick and Ricky are interested in getting in the ring and fighting somebody. Whoa.
I would have to say Ricky seems like more of the one. If it was just like one of them, it would like 100% be Ricky.
Yeah. Yeah. So they didn't call it anyone specifically. They just said, hey, we want to do a pay-per-view boxing fight in an arena with fans. Somebody fight us.
Yeah. And they encouraged their fans and their viewers to go comment on other YouTubers and be like, yo,
oh my gosh,
I think you should box them.
So,
egging them on to go box.
So the question is, hypothetically, would we, MoreJStu, A, box the Ireland boys?
Oh my soul.
Or B, box some other YouTuber?
I love
Let's
this question.
hypothetically
All
talk
three
about
of us versus
Yep.
Ricky
This is a
in the ring at the same time.
He's like, whoa.
because we actually, all three of us and our team actually have had conversations before this podcast about boxing.
True.
So we've been thinking about it. The other day, I actually watched a boxing documentary. Andrew watched a boxing movie.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of boxing movies. I actually really enjoy watching boxing movies. I think just like the premise of like for a movie, it's just really enjoyable. Like all the Rocky movies, Creed.
Yeah, Rocky's epic.
Some other good ones in there too that I've seen.
So let's start with you, Hyper, in this hypothetical situation for everyone watching.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you at? You gonna jump into the ring?
I think there's multiple layers to it.
Let's peel back the onion layers.
And the first part of the onion for me is like how I started at first, like when this question was posed, I was like, absolutely not. This is the dumbest thing ever. Like just no question about it. This is dumb.
Yeah.
What benefit do I have for this and that? Partly because love Ricky, but sometimes he's a little antagonistic when it comes to egging people on and provoking them to maybe, I don't know, yell at them or fight them or whatever.
Anger,
so it's kind of like, I don't want to I'm not encouraging that. But on the other side, I thought, okay, all that aside, like I wouldn't fight someone because like, oh, I want to really put somebody in their place, or I want to just kill somebody. That doesn't motivate me as much as like, probably for the next 6 weeks or more, I would need to train and like get in good shape and have like learn the form and all that stuff. And I would have to probably be hit that whole time to where I'm like not annoyed by being hit the whole time.
I could tell when we first had the conversation, even just talking about it, it was like getting you like internally frustrated.
No, I was processing, which is different. Yeah. So like
internal processing.
Processing.
Well, we play basketball sometimes, and like obviously we're all competitive. And
but these two goons have played basketball way more than, and they've been on teams. I've like never played basketball other than like getting beat up by Kelly, so I'm just awful.
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
But what I do like about it is like I feel like I like the idea of fighting not for any other reason, not for like necessarily winning or losing, but like doing it to do it like as excellence. Like I want to do well, and then like starting from that point, be like, hey, this is for the Lord, and if I win, great. If I lose, great. Like being cool with whatever outcome, and articulating instead of going in like, oh man, no question, fam. I am going to destroy. Like I'm not interested in that. But going in like, hey, I want to give it my best. I'm going to train the snot out of myself for the next 6 weeks as hard as I can, and whatever I've got, I got.
Yeah,
I think that's cool, and it'd be some probably legit exposure as well. So that'd be epic.
Yeah. So before we go to Andrew and his thoughts, I know this is hypothetical, but let's percentage-wise, realistically, what are you percentage-wise? Not saying it'd be the Island Boys, but let's just say boxing in general situation. We got a pay-per-view event. What percentage are you interested in actually doing something like that?
Interested?
Percentage, yeah.
Is this like as JStu or just
as Team JStu?
Yeah, JStu. Yeah,
100%.
100%.
No holdback there.
No holdback. Because I talked about it with Kelly too. I was like, this is a total hypothetical situation, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, like my biggest hurdle was like, I don't want it to be more like, sometimes it just kind of gets personal when sometimes fights are like, you look at Conor McGregor or whatever, and it's like, you scumbag, it's like, oh gosh, I don't want that. I just want to see, let's compete. I love competing. I love that. I think it'd be fun. I think if you played it in the right way, it would be fun and kind of crazy and scary, but it'd be fun instead of like, man, I hate this person. I need Hyper to lose. Like, like I just think it'd be more fun. Yeah. And I think it'd be cool. But
nice.
Definitely.
100%.
Andrew.
I have a lot of thoughts. But before I give my thoughts, we have a special guest calling in that you guys know about.
Some of you
I'm just giving you a hint. He's ready. He's right by the phone. So I'm going to get some thoughts. Maybe we'll get his opinion. You guys
Jeepers.
will absolutely love this guest.
If you don't know this guest, which some of you should know if you've been a longtime fan. If you're a new subscriber, you probably don't know this guy, but we got to get him on the phone. We got him.
Just a couple quick thoughts. So I love what you're saying about the competition because I absolutely love like competition. For example, like in high school when I was doing cross country, like during practice, I was kind of like the average just dude. It's like, is this guy like deserve to be on varsity? Don't know. Not that great. But then as soon as the race day come and the competition, like during the race, like for whatever reason, it just elevates me like so much more.
Epic.
So in my mind, that's where I get excited. Kind of like what you're saying. Like, it's not so much about like just beef with somebody that you want to punch them in the face.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, because boxing is a sport, takes training, there's technique to it, and just being able to train and like add this like cool skill set to like do a fun event.
Yeah.
That makes me excited. And I think we've all had hypothetical conversations with our wives.
Yeah.
And when I was talking to Mary, she was like, well, she wasn't like too excited about it if I was trying to make a career out of this.
Yeah.
But she was like, hey, if you're going to train for 6 weeks to 6 months for this like one event, she was like, yeah, I could be about that.
That'd be epic.
Yeah.
So it'd be fun.
So we're fighting each other. No. Just instant lose by reach and height. Dink.
Yeah.
Thunk.
So hypothetically, Andrew, percentage-wise, Ireland boys or does that okay, this is the question. Ireland boys, does the percentage change if it's boxing them or another YouTuber? Does the percentage remain the same?
Go ahead.
For me, I think it remains the same because I don't think it really matters. Well, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter because there could be some other YouTuber like just big, huge muscle
Big
boy.
burly
I'm
mode.
like, maybe I don't want to fight him. But
Maybe.
But let's just take Ricky for example. Hypothetically, I don't think it changes the percentage for me.
Nice.
I'd be down Ricky or if there was somebody.
What percentage are you though?
I wonder, before you answer the percentage, I wonder if you would be not, because Ricky's, you're different size, you got a different reach. Nick's probably more your, but when you fight in the match, don't you have to be compared, go up against somebody who's pretty much similar to you?
That's
sometimes
typically what you want
class,
to do.
right?
Yeah, but see the way that Ricky and Nick kind of called it out, they didn't necessarily specify like we want to fight someone in our weight class. They said they literally put that out there as we will fight anybody.
Oh yeah.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe that's just on them. They go up against Furious Pete or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
That would be epic.
It was also weird too, like it was in the video where like they get in a fight in public.
Yeah.
And so a weird jump off point to be like, I'm sure they were both sides were antagonizing in that, but it seems like in the video they are looking to start a fight with some random person in public.
Right.
Which probably as a rule I wouldn't say is awesome.
And so recommended.
And so I'm like honestly, my percentage might go down like 1 or 2 just because that's how they asked. Mm-hmm. It's like, we went and found some random schmo that was minding his own business and we tried to kick his butt.
Yeah.
We want to kick somebody else's butt. I was like, not so much that I would be worried about that, but like, I don't want to add to that fire as if like I'm recommending that keeps going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's good.
Yeah.
So, but.
Well.
And. Whoa, wait a minute. What was your percentage?
Yeah, you didn't say percentage, Andrew.
Oh, nuts. I'd probably say probably 90.
Yeah.
That's good up there. That's an A.
That's a per view.
All right. Well, hypothetically, personally speaking, it definitely intrigues me. Like I said, after I watched their video, like I've never watched barely any fights in my life. Like UFC, my dad's into that. Boxing, never really been interested in it before. So after I watched their video, like you were saying, I was kind of like, I didn't really like the approach of the fight. I don't like how it was instigated, and but at the end when they were doing that call out, I was like, in my mind, hypothetically playing it out, like, okay, what would that look like?
How would that look?
And so for that point on, I spent like an hour and a half or 2 hours like looking up some boxing stuff, and then But that's the thing with my personality. I feel like I can get really intrigued and interested in something. And then after like a little while, it kind of fades and I go back to like how I've always been, like never interested in this sort of thing. But at the same time, like you guys, I love competition, like no matter what it is. Like when we play board games, it's so fun to be like, I gotta win.
Yeah.
So that interests me. I like the fact that if I were to ever do a boxing fight, the training, I'd get in better health. Like that's already like a benefit. More confidence in myself. Like a benefit. And to your point, like whether you win or lose, it's just like going into it with this different mindset, because I feel like so many, specifically Logan Paul, Jake Paul, that whole environment and arena are so toxic, and I feel like so many young people watch that stuff. So I come from it as like, I want to go into it with a different light and be like, hey, we're good influences. These guys are very toxic and negative. Where we're coming at it is like, let's do the best we can. We're not going to come at each other like super, like I want to beat the snot out of you. You are the worst. But just kind of like, hey, we love the Lord and we want to honor him whether we lose or not. So these are the sort of thoughts going in my mind.
I just have the Nacho Libre quote when he's like, "Is it always a sin to fight?"
Nacho Libre. There's where you get your inspiration.
Yep. If I could
1
just
to 100.
fly like an eagle. Oh, I was going to add another point.
yeah.
After you give us your 1 to 100.
Well, I also talk to my wife. So like the things for me, I'm more on the, I don't necessarily, I'm interested by it, but at the same time, there are a few things. Like I feel like if I were to ever box, time commitment.
Yeah.
I don't have that much time to train all the time. Like you guys know on YouTube, we've mentioned before, we have a Monday through Friday schedule, like 10 to 5. And at the same time, we have families. So we besides Hyper, we have.
I don't have any family.
Well, no,
he lives in a box by himself.
Sorry, to clarify, we have kids and a wife. He has a wife. We have wives, but we also have kids. So, mornings are important to be able to spend time with our families, and evenings too, because but also there's always give and takes. You could get up super early, but I'm like, time. What do you got in here?
Oh man, I just had a random thought that was making me think.
Go.
Because that's a very good point about the time commitment. But for example, if we're in our hypothetical world here, where this is like a pay-per-view JStu fight, I feel like we would carve out part of our business time to do the training, right?
Thursdays.
So it's like every other day from like 10 to noon is like boxing training. You know what I mean?
I also feel like it would be different too. Like if the three of us found a fight versus the Dangy Bros or something.
Yeah.
Wait, that are you calling them out?
Yep. If we all three, everybody tag them. If we all three were training together, that'd be epic.
Yeah.
Because then,
there's 3 of them and 3 of us.
And then if you could find a way, like it's a triple like header or whatever it is, so where you've got, so you have the wimp like me, not headlining, but like the opener. It's like, so whatever, Hyper dies in the first round, and then
whoa, you're painting this picture of yourself that is not.
And then y'all have a tag team at the end. Or something.
Tag team, first ever tag team boxing, Nacho Libre style boxing.
Yes. Something like that. I feel like if that's part of it too. Like if it was like, okay, that's what I ask. Is it a part of JStu? Because if it's a part of JStu, I would imagine that it's not just like, well, Seth, find your own gym and trainer on Saturdays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
and I feel like to that point too, it's like, let's say it's only one of us fighting. Like, let's say it's you or me. Yeah. Even if it's one of you guys, I feel like I would still like want to train with you. Yeah. Even if it's just you doing the fight. Cool.
Yes.
It's like, I'll train with you. You can box me as part of the training.
Yes.
Like whatever. Like that makes it fun as like part of the JStu group.
Oh, and please let me be the manager that squirts water in your face and gets the smelling salts to wake you up.
The other point I wanted to make too about like the boxing, because when we did Must Have Snacks, like for me, that like the song, that was really exciting because it was like a new experience. Like we could get a song like on Spotify, make a music video. Like cool. Whether like that's a career or not, it's like that just one thing that we never done before. You know what I mean? So it's like doing a boxing like match for pay-per-view or whatever like the outlet is, like
so
that
new.
gets me excited.
Yeah.
Whether I do anything after that doesn't matter, because it's like, well, like that would be a cool experience to like tell, you know, your kids or your grandkids is like, I did like this pay-per-view boxing fight, you know? Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Is like in this hypothetical, if one of us gets just knocked out, what does that change anything? How do you feel? What do you do? What do you say? If you're the person knocked out or if your buddy's knocked out?
Yeah, that's definitely interesting thoughts.
Dude, I feel like I'd feel worse for my buddy to get knocked out than myself. Because like if you're going into the boxing fight, you have to understand like there's a possibility that that could happen to you. And if you're not okay with that, then you shouldn't step in at all.
Yeah.
But like if I don't know, if I trained, maybe if I slacked during training because I thought I was doing really well and like kind of high on myself and then got knocked out, that'd be kind of humbling.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. It is weird because I feel like going into a boxing fight, you kind of have to be like in this certain mindset, not like, hey, we're best friends. I'm gonna just kind of slap you on the face. So it's like it's hard to like envision going into a fight knowing like, hey, we're friends, but we're going at it. Like, I feel like there almost would be an opportunity to like, you know, like have some unwanted tension there or unnecessary tension even after the fight. Say one of us gets knocked out or one of them gets knocked out, whoever we'd be fighting. It's like, how would that relationship be after the fight? Would it be kind of awkward? Like, you know what I mean?
might be a little bit. I feel like
would you jump in the ring and just start wailing on the guy that knocked out your friend?
Not if it was just like, not if it was like a legal knockout, but if there was like dirty play involved, 100%. But I feel like wouldn't you like sign up to do like a fight? It's like that's like the understanding, right? So then it's like there's not like, I feel like hard feelings moving forward. Especially, I love seeing boxing fights that end where it's like someone gets like knocked out or whatever, but then they stand up and they're like hugging, you know, because it's like, wow, you like battled well, my guy.
Yeah.
But I guess that's part of the reason, like, and again, this isn't a knock on Ricky. This is like, that video was a weird segue, or, you know, it was a weird segue to ask for more fights because you're kind of egging on people that weren't even asking for a fight and you're fighting them and then commenting on how you're amazing at fighting.
Right.
So it would be weird to get knocked out by Ricky, who just presented himself as this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, because then it's kind of like, I don't know. You know, there's automatically in any fight, I feel like by default, us as humans, whether it's a fight or whatever, if there's competition, there's already roles that we put on people that we go, okay, this is the good guy and this is the bad guy. We don't know why, whether it was Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. There's a reason that you rooted for who you rooted for, because there's a part of your mind that goes, that's the good guy and that's the bad guy. And so it would just be weird if whoever, you know, whatever you set it up, there's probably some people that would view you as the good guy. And there's some people who view you as the bad guy, but whatever you're viewed as, to just get wrecked would...
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of people who are like, I knew it, and there's another people who are like, oh, I'm really let down. You know. Yeah. So again, you don't do it for those people, but I think is like, for me, that was the initial hurdle I had to process, to be like, am I willing to get wrecked? That's not the goal, but if you don't evaluate that process and then you get wrecked, then you're like, you're just you know.
But I think like you're saying, like how what you say after you get knocked out is key too. Because like if you come at it like, man, he did, you know, like my opponent was a great fighter and he did well, and it's like you're not like upset or like, but you're given the due process and the whatever. Like I feel like people can't get like mad at you unless you like go silent on social media and you're just like angry, like angry tweets and stuff.
Need a rematch, didn't work.
Like stuff like that. People keep like, no man, you got knocked out, you lost.
Yeah. One thing I've also thought about is like, I'm sure many of you listening are younger. I was like thinking about like who watches us. Like, because I agree with what you're saying. Like, boxing is a sport, but it's just such a weird. It is a weird sport, like punching and fighting other people. So I think about like,
there's a stigma already with it. Yeah.
What would they think of us? How would that affect us moving forward? So it's like, it's so many. It's not just a simple yes.
And is it worth that? Again, those are the things I had to process. And again, regardless of what it is, like we've done some dares or whatever, like that have been like, we had to be good. We had to say, hey, we want to do these and we're okay with this. We feel like this honors the Lord or whatever, at least in our minds, in our hearts. Because we know that every video, there's some comments like, oh gosh, this is so bad. Oh my gosh, they're still doing this. Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow. And this is not good. You know, it's like, well, if I'm doing it for, you know, John 23, you know, on YouTube, I'm probably going to quit pretty soon. So it's like, I feel like there has to be some level where you go, yeah, but I think it's a valid thing to weigh, like, because like there's a reason that y'all said no to UFC, because there's one. Not only is it more dangerous, I think there's probably that looks a little worse, than just like, all right, there's rules, ring, you got gloves on and headgear. It's like, kill him, you know?
Yeah.
So that is hard to calculate though. Is it worth it in terms of the people we're leading, subscribers or what, you know, kids, or just people, you know, is it worth it if there's a chance that they may, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think, because like we were talking about the boxing, I feel like how we would present it too, like we're saying, like we're not going into it because we're like trying to create beef with this guy. Because like regardless, whether it's boxing or any other type of like competition or anything, like creating beef with someone is like probably not like the best route in general. But if we're going into it like, yo, this is like a sporting match and like we're going to try to train our bodies and get in shape, so it's like it's not dangerous, and at the same time wearing headgear and stuff to like make sure it's like a good
does that sell the fight?
Does what?
Not saying you know, being cordial, saying we're going to have headgear, saying we're going to be safe.
True.
You know, the reason you want to watch Mayweather and what was it, you know, Logan Paul, Jake Paul.
Oh wait, is it Logan?
I think it's Logan.
Oh,
the reason you want to watch that fight is because there's a part of you, at least part of me, that you're like, I want to see somebody get decked.
Yeah,
and it's worth it either way. Whoever gets decked it's epic, because then you've tainted Mayweather's record or you've knocked out Logan Paul or whatever. You know. It's like, so, but if it's like, oh, they're gonna both have like fuzzies on their head and
and I think you know, maybe all the women, girls watching this too, like I feel like God designed men to be more of the fighters, like going into battle type personalities, you know,
like physically.
Whereas women,
not to say that we want to fight any UFC girls that would have probably destroyed us already. So just to clarify, but they like, can easily fight
naturally,
too.
We're just intrigued with this sort of thing.
Sure.
Battle.
Must fight.
So yeah, for me, I mean, honestly, I'd say like hypothetically interested, 80%. Realistically, I might say 50-50 because there's so much
time.
Well, there's so much into it, and even things that we haven't really talked about, like how much money. Like if it's going to be like for $500, I'm not going to waste my time doing that. It's not that the fight is worth, like it's all about money. But if I'm going to be investing
time is money.
6 months, whatever, it needs to be
a huge
even
part.
Like a couple grand. I feel like that's not worth it.
And you got to think, like Andrew said, you're probably not going to do another one.
Right. It needs to be
unless
legit.
It's just the point is to make it a huge success one time.
Yes.
And you've validated the 6 weeks or 6 months that you've spent on it, because you're never doing it again.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money.
I have like a checklist of things that, like, if all these things need to be met in order for it to be like above 50%. Because if one of these things aren't checked, I'm like, it's not like I have anything to lose by not doing it.
And I think you need to make content in addition, like with it.
Oh yeah, you'd have to.
You know what I mean? Like you couldn't just be like, here's a little update. Like you'd have to make some videos like leading up and
to hype it up.
My question is, like, would Conor McGregor be as well known if he wasn't the way he was? You know what I mean?
Yeah, personality.
Like if he was just like, guys, thank you for this fight. I really appreciate it. Like there's a lot of guys like that in the UFC.
Yeah.
You don't know their name. Yeah. But Conor McGregor's like, you and your mom and like and your family,
just mean about it,
just ripping them.
Personality.
Yeah. But it's he sells the fight, you know.
Yeah, no, that's a super good point, because I feel like even if we were doing, for example, a 3v3 basketball like tournament, not tournament, but like a game.
Yeah,
like I feel like I'd probably be my same personality, you know, like respectful and stuff. But like there's still a part that's like the competition mode where it's like I'm going to dunk on you.
Yes.
Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
But so I feel like that, like you're saying, it is kind of important to add to the
it's like
to the arena.
To take it to like music. It's like if there's a reason. It's like when you diss somebody and you're hoping for a response that they're not just like, hey, good diss, like really appreciate your hard work and like let me tell you I love all the accolades that you've accomplished, but here's my diss. It's like it's like this guy sucks. It's like they just rip them because it's entertainment. They want to see the conflict. So I wonder, is there a way to make that? That's what I'm saying. The good versus bad, because everyone's gonna make their own storyline. Yeah. Can you still have that with both of them like being nice?
I think you can if you keep it not super personal, but more just like if, for example, we're doing boxing, it's like more like boxing skill set. Like you're kind of like egging on or whatever, versus like you have a terrible haircut, buddy.
Or even like if there's a prize.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna get that prize for sure.
Yeah.
Making different priorities.
How lame would it be if there was a punishment? Get slimed after you just get knocked out. Slime falls from the sky.
But I think it's time to call our special guest.
Yes.
And guys, our special guest on the episode is Blake. If you remember him, I think it was early last year.
Yeah.
He was in a bunch of our videos, hide and seek videos.
He was famous for going out of bounds. In hide and seek.
Blake is a legend. And what's very intriguing about Blake is he is like a super fan of boxing. Like no joke.
Not only a fan, but I think he tried out for Penn State University's boxing team.
Yeah.
And he was doing well, but they told him he couldn't join the team because he wears glasses. And so if he takes his glasses off, he can't see. Like if he can't see, how are you going to box?
Which is a bummer because Blake was a beast.
You can't hit what you can't see.
So we want to get his input. Let's give him a call.
Let's go.
Yo, Andrew.
Blake, what's up?
Not much. What are you up to?
We're just doing our podcast, and we're talking about boxing.
What up, Blake? It's me, Justin, and we're also here with
hey, Justin.
Hyper.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
So we got an interesting topic we wanted to just briefly talk to you about. Andrew?
Boxing.
I remember you were telling us that you have like so many hours of like boxing fights on DVD, VHS. How many do you have?
Like 10,000.
Oh my gosh.
Oh!
And you've seen them all, right?
I'd say like I probably watched about like 75% of it of all of them.
Wow. Well, just to give you context, we're talking about YouTube fighting and what it would look like hypothetically if we were to box somebody else. What are your thoughts on that?
You or Andrew?
Any of us.
What's so funny?
Well, Andrew's got the height, and Justin, you got height. You got like height too and reach. Yeah. I'd say Andrew probably has like good reach. Who has a longer reach? You or Justin, or you or Andrew?
Off the top of my head, I'd probably say me, but I mean, we may have to just measure just for fun.
Yeah, we've never measured. Andrew is taller by 2 inches, so if he's taller, technically wouldn't his reach be longer?
And what's Andrew's weight?
Currently 185.
I'm probably like 170, 175 or something.
Okay, so you're like trying to think like.
What weight should I get down to?
And Seth, what's your weight?
I'm 155.
Seth's 155. So we got all the different weight classes here almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like 160, but when I was like 140, like in my college years. That's like the Manny Pacquiao weight class.
The legend.
Oh. So let's say hypothetically we accepted a fight from somebody. Would you train us?
Or would you
give us tips?
Would you recommend it?
Oh yeah, I could train. I could train you.
Oh,
would you fight for us? Dressed as us.
Well, it probably would look awkward because I'm not as tall or lanky as you.
Good points.
But
if we were to box another YouTuber, who would you want to see us box?
Another YouTuber?
Do you know?
Not sure. What who are you interested in fighting?
I would say
somebody we can beat.
No answer.
I'll throw out like 2 names that you're thinking of.
Dangy Bros, Ireland Boys. It's been the discussion today because they.
I was gonna go with either Ireland Boys or Danger Bros. But I'd say Ireland Boys. That was the first one that came to my head.
Nice.
Let's go.
It's confirmed.
Are you doing like real boxing or just like sparring, fighting?
We don't play fight. Everything we do is real.
Like real boxing gloves too, not like those like what are those like big?
Yeah. We're talking the real deal.
Yeah, no sock and
no
boppers.
Headgear. Yeah, sock and boppers, no headgear.
When do you use headgear? At what?
I mean, you can use it when you're sparring or like amateurs.
I would consider myself an amateur.
Yeah.
So Justin won't use one, but Andrew will, and I'm undecided.
I remember saying that.
So when I had to box, I had to take my glasses off and I couldn't see anything, and I was like blind.
You just swinging for the fences and.
Well, I wasn't even swinging. I was just getting hit because I couldn't see anything.
Why don't you get contacts?
Well, wouldn't that hurt if you get hit in the eye?
I couldn't get contacts because like my eyes are so sensitive that like I just like took my glasses off, and they were like, "All right, you go in there and box this guy." And I was like, I can't see.
Dang.
That's rough.
Dang, bro.
Did you say you were like one of the top guys in like conditioning and stuff for the team?
Yeah, like I was like a pretty good runner. I don't know why that was like the only thing I was good at, but
you quit.
And like I could do like a bunch of push-ups and stuff.
What was that boxing game we played on PlayStation?
Mike Tyson.
Fight Night.
Yeah,
Fight Night.
Blake knocked me out so many times in that game.
Oh, no, that was UFC.
Oh
really?
Yeah, it was UFC. That's right.
Yeah, you like I was like I think I took it easy on you though.
Oh, man.
I only knocked you out once, and we played for a while.
That's hilarious. Well, that's really it. Do you have any final thoughts, Blake, about boxing and us?
I mean, you could be the next big YouTube boxing star. I mean, there only is like 2 of them.
I say the odds are pretty high.
Be in the top 5 easy.
or pretty low. Who's going to be intrigued to watch us fight?
Me.
If you put on, if both of you put on like 100 pounds, then you could be like heavyweight.
Oh
no, thanks.
We'll start working today.
I would rather go lightweight.
I would just have to eat hyper.
No. What? You can't
to gain 100 pounds?
Good.
I don't think there's no weight limit at heavyweight either. You can be like 400 pounds in box.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Shoot.
You could be Andrew. You could be the next like Butterbean.
Don't know who that is.
He sounds pretty big.
Big boy.
Although it doesn't make sense. I don't know why you would just gain a lot of weight to box. Like, you think
I feel like don't you typically try to lose a little weight to get in a certain weight class?
So what we're gonna do is get our weights class set, and then you try to gain a whole bunch of it back, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
And if you want to, I mean, you could probably drop down. You could be fighting like, I don't know how low you could get. You could probably get to like 170 or 160.
Oh yeah, I feel like I could get to 170. 160 might be difficult.
Yeah.
You're pretty like long and lanky, so I think you could get down there.
Just looks like bird
But
body.
I would need to add some muscles, I think.
And then if you get to like, you're not going to get down to like 110 pounds, but you could be like, it's like spaghetti weight.
I would literally just be bones. You just have to like blow and I'd fall over.
Spaghetti man.
You don't even have
Noodle
bones. You
caboodle.
just have like skin. I don't know how that works. I guess you'd only be bones.
Well, thanks for coming on the podcast talking with us about this, Blake. Your input is appreciated.
Oh yeah.
Have a good one.
You too.
There you have it, guys. We talked about boxing for quite a while. Hey, if you guys want to, if anybody out there wants to do a basketball tournament against us, bring it.
We will be 100% in for basketball. But when it comes to boxing, we're still in the hypothetical world.
Yeah.
But if you want to see that, make sure to leave a comment and let us know.
Yeah, we want
favorite YouTubers, except the professor. We don't want to play him because he'll
for basketball.
He might.
For boxing?
Oh. Boxing basketball. Okay.
But if you're watching this on YouTube, yeah, leave a comment. Let us know your just thoughts on general on boxing with us. We'd love to read them.
Yeah.
So, other than that, we hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And thanks for tuning into the Life Daily Podcast. We'll see ya on the next episode.
Bye.
Goodbye.